What's up, everybody? Chris Booth here at Harley-Davidson of Indianapolis. Lead tech, master tech, shop foreman. I have a lot of hats that I wear. Today it's interviewee. We were in the middle of the dyno runs with our 131 Facebook live build and realized that we hadn't really made a video explaining what the dyno is. So this is a video that we're going to kind of go through some of the ins and the outs of the dyno. Basically, it's a shop tool that we use to tune bikes, but it's just a big diagnostic shop tool that we use. So with that, Connor has some questions that we've kind of laid out so we can try to explain it a little deeper than that. So our dyno is set up in a soundproof room. The dyno is made by a company out in Las Vegas, Nevada, Dynojet. And basically what it is, it's a steel drum that sits inside this machine, and that drum has a specific weight. And once we put the bike up on top of the dyno, the rear wheel sits right on top of that drum, and the rear wheel turns that drum. The drum, like I said, has a specific weight when it's manufactured, and then it gets into physics. You know, how quickly that drum is being turned is how they can calculate the horsepower and torque at the rear wheel. So, yeah, ours is in a soundproof room. I think that's about it. We have cooling fans in there. The air flows through the dyno very quickly. It's designed to change the air in the room every 3 seconds so that the dyno operator doesn't die. Otherwise, the carbon, monoxide would kill us all. So yeah, we've got these real big fans at the back of the room that pull all of the air. I mean, there's an intake in the front of the room and the two fans going up the back, and it pulls air. As soon as you flip the switch on in the dyno, you can feel it. It feels like you're standing in a wind tunnel almost. And so then we have the ability to measure the exhaust gas coming out of the exhaust pipe to tell how much oxygen is in the exhaust, how much fuel is in the exhaust. That's what we use to build our maps. So we make our runs, and by make our runs, I mean most of your tuning softwares are going to have what looks like a spreadsheet on your computer. And across the top of your spreadsheet, you're going to have throttle percentages from 0% throttle, which is your idle, all the way up to like these new bikes, the new fly-by-wires are 5%. Some of them will idle at 3.5%, 4.5% throttle blade opening, all the way up to 100%. So they'll go like 15, 20, 25, 30, I think it goes to 40, 60, 80, 90, 100. And so we can, and then down the side of the spreadsheet would be your RPM ranges. And most of the time it goes in 250 RPM increments until you get up to, I believe it's 3,000 RPM. And at 3,000, it starts making 500 RPM jumps. So the dyno allows us to ride the bike in every single one of those conditions. The Street Tuner software actually has a, option, I guess, where you can put your Street Tuner, the little dongle that they give you, in a record mode, and you can take the bike out and ride it and sample those riding conditions. And when you get back to your house, you can download that recording to your laptop or computer and then use that to tune with. And I'm here to tell you that works for some people, but I can ride a bike in all of those conditions. I've tried it because when we put mufflers on trikes, we don't have a trike dyno, so we can't get trikes on there. So sometimes I have to do it like that. And even someone as experienced as myself who knows how to quote unquote ride the bike in those conditions, when I get back and download everything, it still looks like a real sporadic map. Like one of those ink blot maps is kind of the best way to explain it. You can't, if you watch the dyno video, you can watch how I can fill in all of the cells to tune the bike. And where if you were out on the road riding it, you would just have some cells over here and some cells right here, and maybe a cell or two over here. You're not going to get the whole fill of that map like what we can get with the dyno. So I guess it's more of a precision tune on your bike. absolutely need to tune your motorcycle. When we start messing with fuel injected and carbureted bikes, to be honest with you, back in the day, carbureted bikes need to be tuned also. So if you change your exhaust system, or your breather, or your air filter, whatever you want to call it, especially the fuel injected motorcycles, there's nothing on your bike that knows you've changed those components. And when you change those components, you change the airflow going through the engine. So if you take the stock air filter off and you put a freer flowing, high flow air cleaner on it, you're allowing more air into the motorcycle or into the engine. There's nothing on the bike stock. The ECM can adjust it to an extent with the O2 sensors, but once you change a component like that, the bike needs more fuel. It creates a lean condition, and when we have a lean condition, the bike runs hot, which causes gaskets to leak. You can have rocker box gaskets at the 1,000-mile service because the bike runs too hot. So anytime you change the exhaust or the breather or the camshaft, anything that affects airflow through the engine, it's a great idea to buy a tuner, some sort of tuner, to get your bike tuned, just so you don't hurt your motorcycle in the long run. So you don't burn up the set of piston rings, and within 10,000 miles, you need to top in on a motorcycle because you just didn't give it the fuel it needed when you put an air cleaner on it or a set of mufflers on it. Which PowerVision is made by DynoJet. They're the ones that make our dyno, so they obviously know what they're doing when it comes to tuning bikes. So the PowerVision software is very good. When Harley got rid of the Super Tuner, which the Super Tuner was great, but for EPA regulations, they had to discontinue that. PowerVision is now our replacement for that. If you're building a motor with a big cam, awesome 2-in-1, and a good breather, the street tuner is just not going to get you where you need to be. You could tune it with a street tuner and take it out and ride it, and the bike's going to buck and hiccup, and it's just not going to run well. You have to get the right amount of fuel in there mixed with the air for the bike to run smooth at all RPM ranges. We can, as mechanics, can get on bikes and tell if there's intake leaks, or you're pulling up to a roundabout and you're slowing down and the bike hiccups on you, like it wants to die. That bike's lean, it needs to be tuned, or it has an issue. Carbureted bikes, we could change jets in the carburetor. We didn't have to worry about software to tune the ECMs. Carbureted bikes, all you had to do is you could put it up on the dyno, make a set of runs, and it's like, okay, well, it needs more air or more fuel down low, and you could change the jet in the carburetor. It was as simple as that. With fuel injection, it's a little bit more in depth because you're remapping the ECM. So they got the PowerVision, the street tuner. Vance & Hines makes what they call a fuel pack, and a fuel pack is a plug and play. You can download the app to your phone, you plug the thing into your bike, you turn your bike on, it syncs with your phone, and you can select, we'll just use Vance & Hines for an example because they build a lot of their maps based on their product. So I bought these Vance & Hines mufflers, I bought this Vance & Hines air cleaner, and this is the map that Vance & Hines says needs to go on my bike. You slap it in there and you're done. The only problem with that is right now, something like that would flag warranty as far as Harley-Davidson is concerned. Harley-Davidson sees that Vance & Hines fuel pack and they will flag your VIN, and if you come in here to get warranty work done on a bike that's under warranty, there's a good chance that warranty work is not going to get performed for free anyhow.
good. That's a fun time.